get the recording. What we will do, by the way, if there's any pieces of this that you want to go back and listen to, no problem. We will absolutely have the recording inside of the Facebook group for a few days. And we will also send out this recording to you via email so you can have access to that. Okay, so just so that you know, don't worry about frantically writing down all of the notes. Just allow yourself to be here and be present. So collaboration's made easy. The really cool thing about this type of talk that I'm going to share with you today is that anybody can do it. Anybody can do it. You can do it, and it doesn't matter which niche you're in, what type of business you have. It absolutely works for everybody. And so I'm super, super excited to share this with you. So back in 2015, just really, really quickly, I promise I'm not going to go into a long spiel of why I decided to do this. But back in 2015, I was a functional nutritional therapy practitioner. I had exactly one client that entire year. And I knew that there had to be a different way to build and grow my business. So I actually began connecting and collaborating and looking for people who I could create relationships with. And it just so happened, right, like the universe does, and abundance and opportunities are all available to us at any time, that I began connecting with chiropractors, acupuncturists, and holistic practitioners. And it is because of those relationships that I actually became in demand. I had clients reaching out to me, I had clients calling me, and I was able to fill my programs and the health coaching things that I was doing with not just referrals, but also with the opportunities that those referrals brought, such as being asked to do talks inside of their office. They were actually offering to not only give me their space for free, but print out all the materials. So I really want to share this with you because it wasn't hard to do. It was actually pretty darn easy. And we see that this is something that people are really wanting. This is kind of like the little black dress and the red lipstick, right? It's never goes out of style. It is classic. And so when we are building relationships with people, then what happens is that you are allowing yourself to 10x the opportunities that you have in your world, the impact that you can create, the visibility that you can create, and the people that you can actually help. So if that sounds good to you, go ahead and pop in the chat, yes, and that you are really excited about learning how to collaborate with doctors and holistic practitioners to build a thriving wellness practice. This is also going to work for people who are not necessarily holistic practitioners. Maybe they are small business owners, such as yoga studios or any other people that you might know. So collaborations and building relationships are absolutely working. So why did I decide to reach out to doctors and holistic health practitioners? Well, the main thing was because I was hearing from my friends who are in the medical field, such as holistic nurses, acupuncturists, chiropractors that I knew locally, that they did not have the resources. As a matter of fact, when I was growing my massage therapy practice, I was at a wellness studio with an acupuncturist. She was amazing. And yet she only had like this handout to give to her people. And it was, this was the Mediterranean diet, but she didn't have a couple things that were super important in helping her patients get results. And that was actually having somebody to support them with not only the educational component of it, but actually the hand-holding component of it. So I was hearing from a lot of doctors and practitioners that they needed resources over than just having this handout. And I was also hearing from my friends who went to these doctors that they wanted more than just resources. So what I knew is that there was a gap that needed to be filled. And it is because of that awareness and that aha that I started going to doctors and holistic practitioners to let them know how it is that I could help them and their patients get better results, as well as be more compliant. And, that ultimately just goes back to the doctor and the practitioner, right? As being an amazing thing, because when their people start getting results, then their people are going to start telling more people. And that looks really good for the chiropractor, the doctor, the digestive associates, all of that. So it was a win-win. And so I'm really kind of sharing with you everything that I did. And, this piece, and I want to answer all of your questions today too, so that if you are unsure what to say, if you're unsure how to get through the front desk, right? The gatekeeper, we know that there's always a receptionist or a front desk gatekeeper, right? I didn't go through any gatekeepers, by the way. So I really want to show you how you can be that bridge, how you can be the go-to that doctors and holistic health practitioners are going to share with their patients. So how exciting, right? Yay! Why else do you want to do this? Does anybody else have any ideas about why this would be so critical in building or growing your business? Some of you are here from Activate Abundance and Six Figure Foundations, which are two programs that I love to run. Go ahead and just pop in the chat for me. What else would be an important reason for why we want to build connections and collaborations with people that can help us get in front of their audience? Any ideas? So it's a win-win and reach goes further. Yes, beautiful, Christine. Absolutely. Helps with credibility. Yes, beautiful. Keep them coming. Yeah. So to build reputation and serve to improve quality of life. Absolutely. Absolutely. So if you are not yet holistic approach to true healing, yes, if you are not yet at the level that you want to be with clients, then what that tells me is that there is a visibility issue. Okay. It's not that you don't have passion. It's not that you can't help people. What that tells me is that you don't have enough visibility. And the way that we create visibility, the way that we get in front of the ideal clients that we are most meant to serve, is by doing two things. We either do it ourselves, right? And when we do it ourselves, that means that we are the ones that are building and growing the audience. And we do need to do that. But the second piece is that we need to leverage other people's audiences. Leveraging other people's audiences means that you get to take the heavy lifting off your shoulders. It means that you get to work with somebody who is going to put you in front of their audience. And so that is going to allow you to get in front of people that don't yet know you. But the cool thing with that is that when a doctor or when a yoga teacher or a meditation teacher or one of your partners hosts you or shares your information, there is a transfer of trust that happens very, very quickly. And that's actually a really good thing, because when there's a transfer of trust happening, that means that you've got this practitioner, this doctor, this holistic nurse, this partner saying to their audience, I believe in this person, I trust this person. And so it is really easy to create the know, like, trust factor very, very quickly. So two ways that we build and grow our audience, two ways that we get in front of our ideal clients. One is doing it by ourselves. And when we say that we do it by ourselves, we can actually pay for somebody to do it, right? Think of Google ads, Facebook ads, all of that. By the way, if you are not yet at $500,000 in your business, you should not be doing ads. So let me just give you full permission to take that off your plate. That is not where you want to be spending your time and energy. Okay. And again, the other way is where we get to create and cultivate community. So those are the things that we do ourselves. But I really want to share it. And this is a master strategy. This is something that you are going to use over and over and over and over and over and over and over again in your business to bring more qualified potential clients into your audience. So how do we do that? How do we actually connect with these people who are going to help us and who actually want to share our information with them? So the first step that we want to do is we want to start locally and personally. Start locally and personally. You do not need to cold call anybody. So if any of you are afraid of, I don't know how to reach out, and, does that mean that I have to go and cold call or knock on doors or actually go to offices and try to, convince the receptionist to let me have an appointment with the doctor? No, you do not need to do that. As a matter of fact, I never did that. And I had people sending me connections and referrals all the darn time. Okay, so here's where you want to do. You want to take a look at who do you know locally? Who do you know locally and personally? Okay, cold calling won't get you past the front gatekeeper, and you don't need to. So think about also your friends, your clients. Who do you know that you are actually working with? So again, I just started locally. I was seeing an integrative doctor, and there were 2 integrative doctors at that practice. And so during one of my appointments, I just said, hey, Dr. Sure, I am a health coach. I'm a functional nutritionist, and I have got this really great program that I'd like to share with you. It is how my clients can take back their own health and wellness, get the education that they need to create these lifestyle habit change and sustainability. That's really, really important. And so what I did is I shared with my collaborators my mission. This is important. We want to share why is what it is that we're doing important. And one of the things that I shared, and for those of you that are in the nutrition field or the health coaching field, we know that today is still, we are struggling with obesity, we're struggling with diabetes. There are people and children that have absolutely no idea how to use a can opener. No lie, I know that sounds extreme, but they don't know how to use a can opener. They don't know how to put meals together. How do I know that? Because I've heard it from my kids who did grow up, cooking with me in the kitchen, and they're like, Mom, my friends don't even know how to make anything. They don't even know how to use a can opener. I also hear from my friends, as no lie, she said that her daughter texted her and said, why didn't you ever teach me how to use a can opener? Like, I don't know how to use a can opener. And I'm like, okay, this is insane. So we know that there is a big gap here. We know that childhood obesity, that diabetes, that high A1C numbers, that people feeling sick and they don't have the education that they need. And so when you share your mission about why that's important, especially with doctors, and again, the people that can serve your ideal client just in a different way, that's really important. So notice that I went to chiropractors, I went to acupuncturists, I went to naturopaths, I went to integrative doctors. I went to people who were already on a mission to help change lives in a outside of the traditional model of just giving drugs. Okay, why do you think that is important? Because that's what I help my people with, right? So when you are working with somebody that already shares your mission, but they just share your mission in a different way, that means that you already have something that you can talk about. You already have something that you connect with. You already have something that you can share. And that's an amazing thing. So here's what you do when you start locally. You want to ask for an introduction or some sort of connection from your personal doctor or from your clients that have either had success with you or that you already know, And I guarantee you, you've got more people in your world than you really think. So the last thing that you're going to do for step 1 is make a list. Make a list of everybody you know. Make a list of the yoga studio that you go to. Make a list of the meditation teacher that you met at a networking event. Make a list of a chiropractor that you might know. Ask your friends who they see. That was another thing that I did. I asked my friends, who do they see? And then they were like, oh, I see this doctor and I see this doctor. I'm like, would you be willing to make an introduction so that I could have a conversation with them? Okay, so what is coming up for you guys? What are some questions that you might have around starting locally and personally? We're also going to talk about, relationships and how you actually create that first relationship. But I would love to hear from you guys. What are some questions that you have coming up around this? Feel free to go ahead and come off mute or pop it in the chat. And if you are on Facebook and you have any questions on Facebook, come on in right now into the Zoom room so that I can answer them specifically. Or if you're watching this as a recording, pop your question in the chat and I will be sure to reach out. Elaine says, I realize I have so many people. Yeah. Am I still doing this now? Lisa, yes, absolutely. I am, but I'm not doing it with doctors and holistic practitioners anymore, but I am doing it with referral partners and building strategic partnerships. It's just that doctors and holistic practitioners don't necessarily serve my ideal client anymore. My ideal client are health coaches and wellness entrepreneurs like all of you beautiful people here today. So I'm going to connect and collaborate with people who serve you. So copywriters and mindset coaches and book coaches and other people. So that's what I meant earlier when I said collaborations can be done in any niche and in any area. I also have friends who are in the marketing area. So I have a friend of mine who is a marketing coach and she actually lives close by. I have another copywriter who is that we can meet in person. I have a sales coach who is also a friend that we can meet in person. So there are multiple ways that you can do this. You can do this online and you can do this virtually too. So Julie, I'm going to answer that question for you. Yeah. Okay, do you have to be a functional nutrition coach? No, you absolutely don't. You can be a health coach. I'm just sharing with you that when I started, I was a functional nutritional therapist and I was also a health coach. Okay, so I had both of those, but you don't have to be one or the other. You can be a life coach. You can be a health coach. You can be a grief coach. You can be a menopause coach. You can be a nutrition coach. You can be a sound therapist. You can be a massage therapist. You can be in any of those realms. Yeah. And Julie says, I don't have a big social circle where I live, so have reached out over local Facebook groups. Great. Yes, great idea. So here's the other thing that I want to share with you. When I started, and this is where we're going to be diving into creating a relationship first, right? Meeting your people, gaining new clients, serving people in your community, think about where they are. And where I started and where I want you to think about is going to networking meetings in person, if you want to do this in person. If you want to do it online, there are plenty of virtual ones to do that too. Okay, I started going to local in-person networking events, and it was for small businesses. And that is also what you want to look for. You want to look for small businesses. We're not talking about being in the room with multi-million-dollar corporations. Why? Because small business owners support each other really, really well. Small business owners want to work with each other to create win-wins. And that's really what we're looking for. We're looking for how can we help this acupuncture, chiropractic doctor, naturopathic doctor, integrative doctor? How can we be a support system for them and refer our clients or the people that are in our world to them? And how can they also refer theirs to us? Okay, so for me, meeting chiropractors, acupuncturists, and other wellness practitioners locally and or in person or at networking events or even online is the best way to begin developing a relationship. So Alyssa, I know you've got a really great co-working facility too, right? So think about, facilities where there's co-working. In Wisconsin, there's the Nest. So there's multiple places. What I want you to do is start thinking outside of the box and start writing things down on where you can go, where your ideal client may be. She can also be at conferences, at events, at classes, right? There are multiple places where your ideal client can be. Okay, so remember, small business owners, these collaboration partners, they want support too. They want business too. They want clients too, right? So when we first connect with them, and this is important, we're not going to just walk up to somebody and be like, hey, you're a chiropractor. Can you send me some clients? No, we're going to say, hey, so glad to meet you. You're a chiropractor. Tell me about your business. Who is it that you most like to serve? Who is your ideal client? So that I know who it is that would be a really good fit for you in your business so I can refer my people to you. When you start that way, it is absolutely so much fun because you are actually giving and you are showing up in a way where you know that you want to support them, and they are going to be then more willing to hear what it is that you do. I never, ever had anybody saying, don't talk to me. Never. Like they were like, oh, it's so great to meet you. You're a health coach. I'm like, yeah. I said, and I would love to learn a little bit more about your business and your ideal client so I know who to refer to you. Now, if someone came up to you and said that, how would you feel? Yeah, you'd feel like, I want to know this person. I want to know this person. They are already starting with how they can help me win. So we want to look for how we can help them win. How can we help them win? Okay. When you take this interest in them first, it is letting them know that you want to win-win. Okay. Also, before you actually leave the networking event or the conversation, make sure that you get the phone number or some way, the best way that they would most like to stay in touch. And here's what I did. I said, what would be the best way for us to stay in touch? Just asked, what would be the best way? I'm on Facebook. Would it be okay if I friended you on Facebook? Or, is it okay if we swap emails? Or, would the best way for us to connect be via phone? So we just ask. Very, very simple and easy to do that. Okay, so that you can then follow up with them later. Hey, Chris, it was so nice to meet you at the Women's Networking event last Tuesday. I'm super excited about having a conversation with you about how we could support each other. Okay, let's see. A new women's integrative health practice is opened in town. No one I've spoken to has even noticed it. Is making an appointment since I need a doctor be the way to start having a conversation, or should it be a separate visit? No, I think that's great. Absolutely, Melissa. If you are already looking for a doctor, that's fantastic. So that when you go in there, you can have your appointment. You're probably going to have a consultation with them. And then you can say, oh, by the way, I'm a health coach. This is the client that I serve. And I would love to refer clients to you. By the way, would you be interested in hosting a talk? Would you be interested in me coming in and sharing something of value to your audience? Okay, so step 2 is create the relationship first. So again, when I went to these networking events, I connected with them and then I simply asked, would it be beneficial? Do you think your clients, your patients, your audience would benefit from a health talk? And whatever the health talk was, I did several health talks. I did Get Your Spark Back for Women Who Lead, which was for women who are very, very busy. I did the Secret Sauce for Women Who Lead. I did talks on your 6 best ways that you can eat for energy. There was a lot of different things that I could do that was going to support them in my mission. And they were all absolutely really excited about it. And they were like, yeah, I would love that. I'm like, amazing. Can we set up, and this is key, can we set up another time to talk about it? Can we set up another time to talk about it? Because when you're at a networking meeting, you don't really have enough time to really sit down and to kind of knock out the details. When you're at a networking meeting, you're really there to just kind of connect, get some names and numbers, and then follow up with them to set up a separate meeting. So I would set up a separate meeting with them, and then we would talk about what it is that they did, what it is that I did, and I shared with them some very, very specific resources. And I'm going to share with you what those resources are that made it an absolute game changer for them to refer clients to me. Okay, step 3, create value for them. Create value for them. Again, just like creating the win-win from the very beginning, we want to let them know how we can create value for them. Some of the ways that you can do that are, number 1, think about what it is that they desire. They want their people to get results. So how can you help their people become more compliant in whatever it is that they're serving them with? Right? So one way is to help their audience, because here's the cool thing. When they host you, or when you are serving them or doing a free talk, you are giving value to them. You are sharing something that is going to serve their audience for free. You're not even charging for it. You're just going to share something that is going to help their people create wins. And that makes them look good. That makes them look good because they're bringing in an expert. Yes, you are the expert. They're bringing in an expert to give value to their audience. So that's one way we can do that. Another way is time. Another way is time. They don't have time to educate their patients or their clients. We know that. They don't. That's why they have a handout, right? That's why it's like, here's the Mediterranean diet, right? One of my clients that I worked with was suffering from severe back pain, and she went to a neurosurgeon, and her neurosurgeon said, you have to lose at least 15 pounds before I can do this back surgery. And she said, okay, how do I do that? And he said, find a program. He had no resources. Now, Charlotte's not a little dinky town, okay? But he still had no resources. And she's like, I don't know where to find a program. So she actually was meeting with her chiropractor that week, who just so happened to be one of my collaboration partners. And his name was Dr. Rose. And he said, call Chris, here's her card. She's got a really great wellness program to help you lose the 15 pounds. Okay. So he already knew in his mind that I could serve this person. She came to me. I worked with her. She lost the 15 pounds. Guess what happened? She went back to the neurosurgeon, had the surgery, and the neurosurgeon actually had his staff reach out to me because he's like, what did you do? Rarely do people actually lose the weight. I want this person's phone number. So not only was that an amazing win for her, it was a win for him because now he has a resource, and his staff would reach out to me and ask me for when was the next class or the next wellness program was that I was running. Amazing. Okay, so know that you are going to help them create value. You are also going to help their people get better results from what it is that they need. Okay, and you're going to help them save time. So results, you're going to help their people get results. You are going to be the experts. You're going to bring them value by doing a talk or something free that you can actually serve their people, and you're going to help them save time. And you're going to help them save time. Now, how do you know what it is that they most want, what they're most valuable, what it is that they most value for their people? You're going to ask them in your meeting, right? Step 2, we're going to ask them, who is it that they serve? You're going to hear more about their mission. You're going to be like, hey, why are you working with, why are you in chiropractic care? Why are you an acupuncturist? Who are the people that you most serve? And the truth is that there are multiple ways and modalities, even within the chiropractic world, right? There's rack 'em and stack 'em, there's energy work, there's a little bit of both. There's a lot of different holistic health practitioners out there that you can collaborate with. So when you meet with them or when you talk to them, you can just ask them, who's your client? Who could I refer to you? And that's what I say. Who could I refer to you? Who can I refer to you? Tell me who I can refer to you. Then I set up the separate appointment. If it feels like a good fit, if they are interested in having another appointment to learn a little bit more about how we can work together. Okay. And I'm telling you, this works. Not just because, of that one client who lost the 15 pounds, but the integrative doctor that I met with, they asked me to come and do a free talk and to actually do a 6-week wellness program in their office. And they offered to print all of the materials for me. It was going to cost me 0 space, 0 printing costs. Okay. Another chiropractor asked me to come in and do a health talk at his office. And from that health talk, I invited people to work with me in a 6-week wellness program, which I'm going to talk about next, which is the resource. You want to have a resource. And this is really, really important. Okay. I had a dentist, actually, holistic dentist, who I reached out to. And by the way, Julie, I reached out to him just in Facebook. I was like, hey, you're right down the road from me. I noticed that you're a holistic dentist. I'm a health coach. My office is right down the road. And, I was wondering if you might want to have a meeting and, see how we might be able to support each other, or who are the clients that I could refer you to. And he was like, sure, come on in. Right. So here's the game changer. Here's what made it different. Here's what made me stand out and be the in-demand coach over any other health coach that might have been reaching out to these doctors. And that is, I wasn't trying to sell me. I wasn't trying to say, hey, come give your people to me because I'm an amazing health coach, or I'm an amazing nutritionist, or I'm an amazing sound therapist, or I'm an amazing whatever. I said, I have a resource. I have a resource for you. I have a 6-week wellness program that I would love to take these people through so that they can lower their A1C, learn how to take back control of their wellness, create ripple effects in the world so that kids are learning how to create healthy and balanced plates, so that parents are not frustrated and overwhelmed and just going through Chick-fil-A for dinner, 3 times a week. Or, by the way, there's nothing wrong with Chick-fil-A. I do go through Chick-fil-A drive-through. I love their salads, but not 5 times a week, right? So they need a resource. They need a resource. And this is where you are valuable. Why? Because you're bridging the gap for them. You're bridging the gap for them between where their patients are and the support and the value that you're giving with a specific resource. And so this created so much value for them. No longer were they only stuck with a handout. Instead, what they did is they knew, because I would sit down with them and I actually would show them my 6-week wellness program. This is what we do in week 1. This is what we do in week 2. This is what we do in week 3. This is what we do in week 4. And they were like, holy shit, that's amazing. Truly. As a matter of fact, they went through the program with me. I had the entire staff of the integrative doctor go through my program. I had the chiropractor go through my program. I had a family doctor go through my program. They wanted it for them too. Why? Because they told me they only get a semester of nutrition. They don't have it. Or they only get a semester of whatever the XYZ thing is, right? So if you think that you don't know enough, you absolutely do. You absolutely 100% do. And this is how I grew my program. This is how I grew my practice. I would offer the 6-week wellness program. I would connect and collaborate. I would actually leave little postcards. For those of you that are inside my signature program, Activate Abundance, you know that you get access to the Launchwell program. So you've got the actual marketing materials, you've got the postcards that I used, you've got the talks that I gave inside of that program. So you know what to do, how to do it, and all of the cool things that you can do to create value for these people that we want to connect and collaborate with. So no more hustling, no more burning out just to barely pay my bills. As a matter of fact, I really did become the go-to leader in my community. I was asked to speak at a regional hospital, as well as being sought after by many other doctors. I had a holistic nurse go through the program. She then connected me with a doctor who was the head of a digestive health associates who had 8 doctors under him. He asked me if I would come in and do a talk for their practice. Can you see how the ripple effect works? Yeah. Can you see how much faster this happens when you are working with somebody that gives you a transfer of trust and is going to help you get in front of their people? Yeah. Nicole says, did you offer the program for free or paid or discounted to their patients and clients? Oh, such a good question. So I offered it to them. If they wanted to go through the program, they could go through it for free. But for their patients or their clients, it was just a standard rate. So I did not offer a discount directly to their patients. You can, there's nothing wrong. I just didn't. Okay. So it's not wrong to offer a discount or not offer a discount. You can absolutely, talk with your practitioner, your collaborator partner and see how they feel. Yeah. If you want to give a $50 discount to everybody, Great. Now, what you can't do, and this is just really important, you're welcome, what you can't do is give them money for referring clients to you. Okay, so just know that that's kind of ethically out of integrity for them to receive money. Okay, so we're not saying, hey, if you send me your clients, I'm going to give you money. No, we're saying that I want to connect and collaborate with you so that you can help your people. And again, they want to help their people. And here's the cool thing. All they have to do is send out an email to their email list. They already have a practice. They already have an email list. Okay, so this isn't you trying to fill the talk. This is somebody else doing the heavy lifting for you. Okay, so that they get to do that for you, and you would just give them a sample email. Let me make it easy for you. Here's a graphic. Here's an email that you can send out to your list. What day would work for, the health talk? Marie says, did you do those in person at their clinic or via Zoom? Let me stop the share just for a minute. And was it done in groups? Go ahead and come off mute, Marie, because I'm not sure what you were asking. What the actual group program?
Yeah, so when you worked with the doctors, did their patients come in and you worked with them in a group setting for 6 weeks, or did you have them reach out to you and you worked with them one-on-one?
Yeah, both. Great question.
Oh.
So for example, the client that needed to lose the 15 pounds before she could get surgery, I didn't have a group class going on at the time that she needed it. I was in between classes. And so I took her through the 6-week wellness program one-on-one. Okay, so you can do either. You can do groups, which I love. I love groups. And here's the cool thing about groups that I want you guys to think about. Even if you're just starting out, please, please, please do not let that scare you. I started out with groups. So the idea that, oh, you have to get your one-on-one practice filled first before you can go into groups is hogwash. I did it backwards before I knew that the thing to do, right? The experts say that you have to fill your one-on-one programs first. No, you don't. No, you don't. I ran 6-week wellness programs. I ran them 6 weeks for the program, 2 weeks off, then another 6 weeks. At one point, I got so busy, I had to add a second one in. From there, about 30% of the people that joined me in that 6-week wellness program continued to work with me one-on-one. So notice how this works. We start with a group, right? You can still start with one-on-one. And even some of the clients that wanted to work one-on-one with me, I would gift them the group. Value, right? I'm about creating amazing value. Okay, so who thinks that this is doable for them? Yeah, type in yes in the chat. I've got some great hands. Type in yes in the chat. Yes, yes, beautiful, yes. Some of you are already doing it. And it's actually fun, isn't it? That's the cool thing too. It gets to be fun. You get to share your zone of genius. You get to fill a gap, and you get to serve your most ideal client in so many different ways. And somebody else, again, you're pulling the master lever. This is a master lever, guys, of leveraging other people's audiences. Now, there's multiple ways to leverage other people's audiences. The way that I'm teaching you today is about having a resource and doing a talk. Okay, having a resource, having a 6-week wellness program that you can invite them into. If you already have a 6-week wellness program or a wellness, something that you want to use, amazing. If you don't, I'm going to let you use mine. I'm going to let you use the exact same 6-week wellness program that I used. Not only that, but I have decided to make it available to you so that you can take my name off and put your name on. You get to make it your own. As a matter of fact, all of the files you can edit if you want. You can edit them. You can add different pictures. You can take the whole layout that is based on my background as a health coach, life coach, and transformational coach with habit change, in addition to what I use as a functional and nutritional therapy practitioner. Some of my clients have used this to actually create a 12-week group program, so that there's no need to try to recreate the wheel. Like, you've got everything that you need as far as materials, as far as graphics, as far as what you can actually take to your doctor's office. And again, this is not about a fee that you need to give me for rights. You get lifetime rights to this. This is called the Launchwell program. It is an amazing 6-week program that is going to allow you to not only start groups. And by the way, those of you who don't know how to run groups, I actually do a 6-module training on how to actually run groups. I also do a training inside of this Launchwell program on how you can actually fill and grow your program by doing talks. So inside of the program, where I mentioned I was going to give you not only my specific talks that I did, by the way, I'm giving you 3. I'm giving you my Spark Back talk. I'm giving you the Secret Sauce for Women Who Lead. I'm also giving you a talk that I did at an amazing retreat center called the Well of Mercy, where I did a half-day retreat. So you can take my stuff so that you know exactly what to do and how to actually present it to your people. Another thing that I want to ask you, if this would serve you, because I just created something yesterday and I was thinking, you know what, I need to see if this is something that would serve the people who show up live, because I want to give you guys incredible value here, but not just value that you get to use over and over again, but value that you can then start implementing quickly. Who would like several different email swipe files of exactly what to say on that first contact? Melissa. Yeah, perfect. I'm going to give you that. It's 2 separate emails of exactly what to say. You can copy it. You can make it your own so that you know exactly what to say to them. You're welcome, Julie. And I'm also going to give you my flyer that I used for my health talk so that you can take the flyer and you can use that as a template and you can share it. So I'm giving you that totally for free because you're here live with me today. And I want you guys to have that. Because I know when I first started, I didn't know what to do and I didn't know what to say. And that's one of the things that I hear a lot is, okay, sounds amazing, but what do I say? Right? How many of you are like, this sounds really amazing, but what do I say? How much easier would it be if you knew what to say? If you had the materials already done? If all you had to do was like change a few things, like a logo, if you want to put your logo on, or your name. How much easier would it be if you had exactly the emails that you would send out to your people who are actually joining you in your 6-week wellness program? How much easier would it be if you had the support that you needed to not only connect and collaborate, but to also fill your programs? By the way, we're going to talk about that tomorrow. So I want you guys to come back tomorrow on how to actually fill your programs. Okay. I am going to share something with you real quick because I want you to take a look at everything that I created for you. By the way, for those of you that have seen this previously, we have added so much more juicy goodness inside of this. So one of the things that I wanted to make sure was happening was that you would have not only access to everything that you needed inside, but you also were going to have access to having all of your questions answered as well. So one of the things that I've done is for the next 48 hours, if you decide that you would like to have the Launchwell program with all of the 6-week wellness program pieces in it, all of the marketing materials, all of the emails, all of the swipe files, all of the talks, all of the trainings, I am also going to give you an entire year of office hours with me. You get an entire year of office hours with me so that you can come and say, Chris, I'm stuck on this piece, or, hey, I had this conversation here. How do I do that? I am gifting you that for free. In the past, the Launchwell program has been on demand, which meant that you got to go in there, you got to download all of the materials. Great, it was there for you to use. And I decided that I really wanted to have more connection with the women that were using this and make sure that you had the support that you needed. So the Launchwell program is exactly that. It is designed not just to support you in learning how to connect and collaborate, but it's also designed to support you in filling your groups and having all of the materials that you need. So I call this a step-by-step system to create, fill, and run your own profitable wellness program in 12 weeks or less. It's 12 modules that you have access to. And this is what I want to share. I'm going to tell you exactly what's in it. You're going to get a proven step-by-step system to build your wellness business. You're going to get a tried and true program that is scientifically based, that gets clients results. You're going to have templates, and more templates, right? It's going to answer the question of what do I do and how do I say it? You're going to have a roadmap for successful launches. So when you want to fill your group program, you're going to have a roadmap of how you can do that by doing a talk and inviting people to work with you. And I'm also going to share some of the things about the online talks. You're going to get a 6-module course on how to actually teach the 6-week wellness program. You're going to get a video vault of all of the videos that I have on goal mapping, on creating a 90-day profit plan, on collaborating with doctors, and converting people from your Facebook group. You're also going to get a couple bonuses. So you're going to get a 90-day done for you content plan. Why? Because this answers the question of what do I post? What do I say? Okay, you're going to get a copywriting mini course with our expert copywriter, Laura. And regularly, this program is going to come with 6 months of live coaching calls with me. But when you join within the next 48 hours, you're going to get an entire year. So a whole year where we get to be live in my Zoom room. The regular investment of this is $2,497, but for the next 48 hours, you're going to get that for $1,997, or you can make 3 payments of $800. Holy crap, that is an amazing deal. For those of you that are inside the Launch Well program right now, you are more than welcome for the next year to come to these live calls as well. So you get access to all of that. Okay, so what's in it? Module 1 is all about creating clarity. By the way, you have got, again, 6 weeks of the wellness program that you can pivot, you can tweak, you can add your own stuff. If you're working specifically in the fertility realm, you could change that. If you're working more in the grief realm, you can change that. You can change it up. Okay. We also dive into health and setting people up for success in module 2. In module 3, we talk about the importance of digestion. Right? We know that one of the things upstream that needs to happen is we have to start with digestion. We talk about blood sugar and stress. So notice here we're talking about education in the wellness realm of habit change. We're not diagnosing or curing anything. We're talking about it in the realm of habit change for health and life. So we're going to talk about how is blood sugar and stress connected. You're going to be able to take your people and share that with them. You're going to say, how are healthy fats and quality sleep? You're going to be able to talk about reintroduction for anybody who's decided to maybe cut sugar out of their diet, or anybody who's decided maybe to cut gluten out. How do they actually do that? We're going to talk about the abundant mindset. We're going to talk about launching your program, creating a nurture event, creating a 90-day nurture plan, and collaborating. Actually talking about your framework and then actually launching it. So this is so much more than just a 6-week wellness program. So much more than that. Yeah. So the link I posted in the chat for you. And if you're in Facebook watching the replay, go ahead and check inside the comments. I will make sure that you can post that there. You can take a look at everything in there. And if you're unsure about whether this is going to work for you, where you are in your business, and you just want a quick chat, I'm more than happy to do that. Know that this is not a sales call, though. I am not interested in trying to convince or persuade or drag anybody across the finish line and trying to convince you that you need this. If you think that this is something that might serve you in your wellness business and you just want to have my brain on it, I promise I'll be honest with you and say, yeah, I think this would be really great. The cool thing about having live access monthly is that I can also help you create whatever changes or shifts that you want to make as well. So you're not totally left on your own. How does this sound, you guys? Does this sound like this would fill a gap for you in your wellness business? Yeah. So I want you to think about the lifetime return on investment on this too, right? Can you create something like this? Absolutely you can. I did. So the question isn't, can you? The question is, are you going to? And how long is it going to take you to do that? And how much money is it going to cost you to hire the people that you need to put this all together for you? right? I've done all of that. I've done the heavy lifting for you. And that's why I'm offering this. Yeah, totally. So go ahead and come off mute. We've got a couple minutes left. I just want to answer any questions that you might have about collaborations, reaching out, creating those partnerships, or anything that's inside of the Launchwell program. Would be more than happy to answer anything. And I'm so glad to see that you guys like it. Totally. By the way, for those of you that are those type A's like me and like many of you here that are like, that sounds amazing. And what if I want more? What if I want the full shebang, right? If you join me inside of the Activate Abundance program, which is my 1-year signature program that also teaches you how to create a heart-centered marketing and sales system, you actually get Launchwell for free. You get this as part of the program. You're welcome. Bye, Marie. Yeah. So what questions do you have? Go ahead and come off mute. What questions you have for yourself in creating those collaborations and partnerships, either in person or online? Oh, someone, Lisa, I couldn't hear you. Were you saying, I saw your mouth move. Okay, you're chewing. Yeah. You guys are good? You're ready to go out and do it? Awesome. Here's what I want you to do. I want you to make a list of at least 50. I want you to make a list of at least 50 people who are either local or in your world some way, shape, or form. That means they could also be online too. Okay, 50. Why 50? Because it is going to allow you to actually start thinking outside of the box. You might actually get closer to 100. Okay. And then you can take what it is that I'm giving you, which is the free first contact email that I'm sending to each and every one of you. Okay. Because you're live here, I'm going to give you that. Okay. So I will probably, we're going to make a list of everybody who's here and I will reach out to you. Most of you are on Facebook. So if you will just send me a little message and just say, hey, Chris, that way you'll be in my messages and I could just send you that document right away. There's no landing page for it. There's nothing. I'm just giving you access to my Google file that has got the emails in it and also my flyer. Yeah. If there's no questions, I want to hear something that is powerful that you are taking away from this training today. Tomorrow, I'm going to come back and we're going to talk about 4 ways that you can actually fill your 6-week program or whatever program you have. It's going to work for anything. We're going to talk about that. Wendy.
Thank you for this. This is great. I'm getting ready to do this myself. So I think the love list is very helpful. That's been something that's been in my mind, but I'm looking forward to actually seeing it written down.
Mm-hmm. Beautiful. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I would love it if, how many of you would be committed to making your love list within the next 24 hours? Type yes in the comments or in the chat if you would be willing to make your love list of 50 in the next 24 hours. Awesome. I'm getting lots of yeses. Why is that important? Because information doesn't equal transformation. If you don't do anything with what I'm teaching you today and implement it, nothing's going to change for you. And I am committed to you getting results. So I'm going to create accountability for you here. Make your love list within the next 48 or 24 hours. Yeah. Bye, Christy. Yeah. What is an aha, an insight, an inspiration, something that you're like, woo, so excited that I came here today? Go ahead and either come off mute or pop it in the chat.
I would say an aha is how you're approaching professionals. And that's something I've done in the past for a different business is just, tell me more about what you do and how I can refer people to you.
Yeah.
And how can we help each other?
Yeah.
Because maybe I might be a good fit for your clients to gain from, we all win that way. So Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you for saying that, Lisa, because that is something I call this playing the generosity game. And it's something that I've absolutely been committed to from the very start. And it makes a difference in our business when we see that there is plenty for all of us, right? There's not just like this one pie where if I take a bigger piece, there's less for anybody else. There's a whole bakery. And for those of you that are work with me right now, you know that I say this all the time. There is no lack. There is an abundance of whatever it is that we want. And we just get to get back together in the bakery and make more. And that really is what we're doing here when we're reaching out and we're connecting and collaborating. Because we're making more for everybody. Thank you so much, Lisa. Bye, Steph. Yeah.
Yeah, I just wanted to back up what Lisa said. I was just going to say your question, the first question or one of the first ones is like, who do you like to serve?
Mm-hmm.
I've asked questions similar to that, but I really love that. So I've written that one down.
Yeah. And you know what? They really appreciate it because that shows that I am truly interested, because if I understand more of who they serve, you know, because some are family, right? Some are kids, some are, you know, there's just a wide range that they can serve. So I want to know.
Yeah.
Cool.
Thank you.
Sarah. So glad to see you here. Yay. Julie says, I'm glad I'm doing that. What I'm doing when talking to my collaborators is right, asking about them. Beautiful, Julie. Absolutely. Nicole says, offering the program to a specific officer business. Yeah, we get to offer remember, you having a specific resource takes the pressure off you needing to sell you, right? It's not send your people to me because I'm an amazing coach, nutritional therapy practitioner, culinary nutritionist. It's send your people to me because I have a resource, I have a program, I have something that is going to serve your people. So that then instead of trying to remember your name, what they actually do is they remember that you're a resource. They remember that you've got something that is going to benefit their people. And that made all the difference. And then when I printed out little postcards and gave it to the doctors, and I also provided flyers to them, they would keep it in their treatment rooms. Like, how cool is that? That they would keep my postcards about the program that I was running in their treatment room and hand it out. So they didn't have to remember, oh yeah, Chris does this. It was there already. They also let me put it in like a card holder. So it was a 4x6, I think, little postcard, and just a regular business card holder would stand it up in there, and they would allow me to keep that in their lobby. How would it make a difference if you were able to, you know, grow your business in this way that felt really good and heart-centered and in service, instead of feeling like you've got to hustle for clients? Yeah. Cool. Any other ahas? Melissa. See you tomorrow for those of you that need to leave. Yeah. Bye, Lisa. Absolutely. Thanks for staying. Melissa, what about you? Any ahas, insights?
I don't know if it's ahas. Did I unmute? Yes, it did. I'm not sure if it's ahas. It's just more confirming who I can actually go see, like the new little practice in town. So they don't actually have a doctor. And I really don't have a local network yet. I have looked up local networking groups, but it looks like I'll have to go to Tuscaloosa or Birmingham. Now, is that too far to be local? Because that's about an hour away from me.
Yeah, good question. No, it's not too far at all. I would say, especially since, you know, some of those networking groups are about once a month. You know, think about you just be making that trip once a month. And I'm sure that, you know, again, you can do virtual things. I mean, you could an hour, and again, you get to decide this for you too. Like an hour for me, I wouldn't be opposed to driving an hour to give a talk if I knew that that was going to bring people into my program, that was actually going to be creating income. And I can tell you that every single talk that I've done, I've always gotten a client. Every single one. There's not been one talk, and I've done a lot, that has not resulted in a client. Bye, Nicole. Thanks for being here. Yeah.
So that's pretty much it, I think, for me. Also, when we're approaching people, if we're doing it virtually, because since I'm a mindset coach, I want to offer to my friends who are direct marketers who have the downlines, I want to be able to come into their downline groups and give talks there. The best way to approach them would be just to start asking about their downline, like, because we'll be through DMs and
Yeah.
stuff. So
Oh, this is so good, Melissa. For those of you that stayed, this is golden. Like, this is another juicy golden nugget. So thank you for asking this. So one of the things that I did, Melissa, is there was actually, she was a massage therapy client. And as we were talking, she just so happened to be one of the vice presidents for Arbonne. So she was really, really high up in that company. And I was like, you know what? I'd love to come and give a talk to your team so that they can what would be the benefit of their team? What would be the benefit of them having mindset support so that they can be more effective, so that they can grow and generate their revenue, so that they can build and grow their businesses in a more quicker, easier way, which is ultimately going to help the upline, right? So we want to think about what is the need that this serves. What is the need that this served? And so I went to her house for one of her monthly meetings. There was probably about 25 people that were there. I had a great talk about how they could take care of their health and their wellness so that they had the energy that they needed. I think I did the secret sauce for women who lead for that one, which allowed them to continue to show up powerfully and energetically and vibrantly in their Arbonne business. And absolutely, I think that one talk probably generated around $10,000 for me.
thanks, that's what I needed.
Yeah, just one talk. Yeah. Cool. Awesome. All right, ladies, thank you for being here. We're going to pop off. Thank you for staying a little bit over. We're going to come back tomorrow and we're going to talk about the 4 main ways to fill and grow your programs. Okay. And we're again going to still dive in about collaborations and how you can use collaboration partners to help you. So we're going to talk about some of the top 4 ways that you can actually do this that make a huge impact. And it's going to be a combination of both in person and online. You know me, I'm probably going to go over, probably give you more than 4, just because the questions will lead to something else. So I hope to see you back here tomorrow. And thank you guys for being here.
Thank you.
Yeah.